I'm at a loss for words over this SpaceX garbage. Seriously? There are people who actually believe this shit? Honestly, what's next? Pigs in space? Like, what? It's obviously a distraction. I can't even, can't even talk about it. It's so stupid. Anyway, Nobody Knows posted a link to this video about planes, and you have to watch this video because it makes a lot of sense. Think, look into it and think for yourself what you think of what they're saying. Essentially, what they're saying is planes don't use jet fuel to fly. That they use resonant sound frequency to fly. I'm not quite sure how that works. I'd like to know more about it, but the way that the engines are made with these rectangular metal pieces that are put in a pattern, and each one has a different sound, it makes sense in a way, because what really makes sense is that this guy, he showed diagrams of a plane showing that the wings are hollow. They're supposed to be hollow. Birds' wings are hollow. Their bones are hollow. Anyway, the wings are where gas is supposed to be stored. The fuel is supposed to be stored in the wings. It doesn't make sense. If you even think about how heavy gas is, how heavy is fuel, and it would affect the weight of the plane to carry all of that fuel. How do they counter that when it burns? And I was on a plane when I was on the plane coming back from California. I was like, they're not using these engines to fly in the way that we're told, because after takeoff and just before landing, the sound changes. So they might use it for takeoff and landing, but they don't use it for flying. And I don't even know if they use it for takeoff and landing. Now, if the fuel actually does go, if the fuel goes in the body of the plane, which they say it does not, but let's just say that it does. If the fuel goes in the body of the plane, then that's going to weigh the plane down, and it would have to adjust for the weight after it's been expended. If the fuel goes in the wings, then how come there's no effect when the plane tilts to turn? I mean, how much fuel are we supposed to believe is actually in these wings, and where are they stored? In some container that doesn't affect the level of the plane? So if it tilts, then does the fuel not affect the balance of the plane? Because if you're tilting, then that liquid is going to tilt as well. Wouldn't it throw the plane off balance? It's just ridiculous when you think about it. It also made me think about the scent when you go to an airport. If this fuel thing is a hoax, you go to the airport and you smell diesel fuel, and it made me think about Starbucks, and when you go to Starbucks, you smell coffee. However, you go to any other coffee house and you don't come out smelling like Starbucks. Starbucks must be pumping coffee smell into the restaurant so that you come out smelling like Starbucks, and you carry that out into the world so people get triggered with this Starbucks smell and want to go buy Starbucks. Because I will sit in a coffee house at like second cup, and when I leave, I don't smell like second cup. It's only Starbucks that I smell like Starbucks. I smell like coffee, and it's a very specific smell. Kind of gross, actually. Anyway, so it made me think that maybe they're doing something similar. If this is a hoax and planes don't fly on fuel, then they're pumping out this scent of jet fuel or diesel fumes to make you think that this is what plane fuel smells like. And I really got to look into this more, because I had suspicions that planes don't fly the way that they tell us, and I thought maybe it had something to do with magnetism. It could possibly still have something to do with magnetism, and but this is very, very interesting. I also suspect that planes don't crash, and if they fly using energy harvesting like this video says, and using sound resonance, then there's no reason for planes to crash. And me personally, I've never encountered anyone who has ever told me that a friend or relative has ever died in a plane crash, or even been in a plane crash. And all the plane crashes I've ever heard of have been on the news and some massive sensationalistic plane disappearing, plane crash in the middle of the ocean or something with no real reason, or it's been some little Cessna with a celebrity in it. Food for thought.